And we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela, and I have got questions for you. What opens with a funeral and what closes with us at the hospital finding out some bad news? If you guessed Black Lightning, Season 1, Episode 3, Lawanda, the Book of Burial, you're correct. Thank you so much for clicking on the video or joining us live and sticking around to see how we get from opening to closing. Hi, I'm Angela and the channel is Be Fabulous You. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We're working on 1,000 subscribers. So if you are one of my first 1,000 subscribers, yay! Thank you so much. Let us proceed. So, back before we get into that, what happened to Black Lightning's daddy? I want to know that. And I also I kind of quick on this. Where is it? It says very bad connection, so I'm just gonna pause. What is going on with the Wi-Fi? Okay, they don't hesitate to kill the people on the show. Okay, so we're at Sister Lawanda's service. She was the one whose daughter was in the motel, who she had just decided to post up outside the motel, take pictures, harass. She was just on a mission to get her daughter back. She got killed at the end of last episode. We're at her service now. The preacher is preaching, the choir is singing, little sister asking her mama, "Where's big sister?" And mama is like, "Shh, shh, shh." We hear the choir and we see Big Sis scaling a fence into a junkyard type situation, and she's setting up a camera. She's training herself in her superpower management, and she's in pain. She's trying to find the key to her superpowers. Then we're back to the face and voice of the minister and the congregation, and he's asking for 100 God-fearing folk to march with him to counter the 100. Stand up, stand up, stand up. And then we see Miss Anissa, that's Big Sis. She's breathless, she's tired, she's kicking, she's frustrated, she's in pain. And then she has a light bulb moment. "It's my breathing," she says. And then we're back at the church, and the principal is observed. The principal, what's his name? Black Lightning, but in his day job, he a principal. He's observing the minister and the inspector talking, and the inspector is like, "We would not have to pay the 100 if half the," oh no, the minister is saying we wouldn't have to pay the popo, the 100 if half the popo were not on the payroll of the 100. And then the inspector is like, "Good work is being done. We'll get there." And the Minister Jeremiah is like, "We can't trust you. So we gonna trust the God, good Lord Almighty, good God Almighty." And inspector is like, "While you up there in the pulpit with your $2,500 watch on and wiping your forehead with a silk hanky, I'm scraping young black men's bodies off the concrete. And I work in work shoes. What kind of shoes do you wear?" And Reverend, and then Jefferson Pierce drops his arm. He had been holding an arm in between them, I guess, like to keep him from fighting. It didn't seem like it had got to that point when he dropped his arm. I'm like, what was he doing? And he drops his arm that he had between them. Then we see Anissa, Big Sister. She's feeling herself. She's mastering her power. She like, yes, she's super excited. Reverend is like, "I'm not calling off the protest. And quite frankly, I'm surprised that you, Jefferson Pierce, as a parent and as an educator, would try to stop it." And then Jefferson is like, "I'm trying to save you from yourself." And the Reverend is like, we listened to you, Black Jesus. You were on the streets with us, fighting with us. Now, it seems like you only care about your students at your school or your children in your own house." And the Reverend says, "I'm tired, Popo killing us or we killing us. We got to take strength back, and we got to be willing to die." Do you have caught up on the? I've caught up. I don't know what you said because I was reading my notes, but I'm caught up on the series, watching it, but I'm behind on my reviews. Sorry. Okay. And it's something weird in me where it's like, I don't know if I could just like pick up where like, I don't know. I'm gonna catch up though. I'm gonna, even though it was like it's been a week since I did the last one, I'm gonna like catch up so that I can catch up. So just bear with me. Okay. So, the popo is killing us and we killing us. We got to take our strength back. We got to be willing to die. Like Lawanda, Black Lightning gave her hope. And me too. It's God. It's no accident that he's back after all these years. Hey, happy Sunday, Rowdy Chica. Oh, on the haves and the have-nots. No, I was watching the haves and the have-nots, but I haven't even. You know what? I think what happens is that Tuesday night is about 12 different things that come on that I like to watch, and then I spend the rest of the week trying to catch up with. Thank you for the like with. So I did see a couple episodes of the haves and the have-nots, but then OWN does something weird with their on demand. So I have to I guess program myself to make it a priority to watch the haves and the have-nots. But the amount, because their on demand is spotty. It's like it stays up for a day or 2 days if it goes up. At the end of last season, I couldn't find the last episode ever, and I kept checking and checking. So I don't know what, or maybe it's something with my service provider. I'm not really clear. But the Reverend is like, it's no accident the Black Lightning is back after all these years. I believe the Black Lightning is the answer to our prayers. And then we see Jeff. He's in with Taylor Gamby. I think his name is Gamby. And he's like, heroes inspire people. That's what Gamby is saying. So you be ready. They talking now about the suit and how they've improved it, and they're working with this simulation, Jefferson and Gamby, so that Jefferson can finally succeed at using this new and improved, thinner stream, more precise lightning strike or electrical current taser. I guess it's like a taser. He has like a built-in taser in his suit. Okay, so then we see the albino, Tobias, with the woman. I don't know what the woman's name is, but the white woman who's always with him. And they strutting into an office. And it's Jilly from Philly. And she's writing thank you notes. She's flanked by two gentlemen, or maybe they're not gentlemen, but two men, on either side of her. And the albino Tobias is delivering money. And Jilly is at her desk. And she's like, unless you want me to throw that bag of money at Black Lightning, I just don't really see how that solves your problem. And she is so, that saccharine, sweet, mean, nasty, nice, nasty. And it, given what we're hearing about her personal life from the guy, I'm like, ooh, she really had that nice, nasty down. I love her character in this show. And then the albino is like, Tobias is like, Black Lightning is dead. I killed him myself. And Lady Eve, that's Jilly from Philly's character's name. She's like, Tobias, are you a church-going man? The good book helps Black Lightning. The good book helps people, and then Black Lightning comes along, and folks get out of line. I mean, the Reverend is going to lead a march and take away our protection money. And Tobias is like, he can't be that stupid. And Lady Eve is like, another pastor realized the risk and he let me know. And I expect you and that girl to take care of it. And Tobias is like, amen, Lady Eve, amen. So then we see baby girl, the little sister, she's on the roof with her new boyfriend. And he's telling her that they can check into the hotel at 2. I'm like, check into the what? The hotel at 2? For what? And then he's asking if she's told her parents yet. And then she says she has not told her parents, but she checks to see that he has condoms. This little child. And then she's like, you good? And then I know you didn't I know you're not gonna change your mind because he looking a certain way. She like, you good? I know you're not gonna change your mind. And then he's like, well, I have to tell you, I lied. I've never done it before, and I wanted you to believe that I was more experienced than I am. And she's like, shoot, your virgin self never looked more sexy to me, than before, or whatever, with her fast behind. Beat her, beat that child, just beat her. Okay. So then we have Anissa, that's the big sister, and she's at a bookstore, library type situation. There's an Asian woman named Grace, and Anissa's like, oh, I'm sorry, am I in your way? I'm doing some research on genetic mutation. No, it's not for school. No, nobody in my family is sick that I know of. I hope not. And then she's like, well, I'm Anissa. And then they're kind of flirting and smiling at each other. And then Anissa notices a comic book in Grace's back pocket. And Grace is kind of like notices her looking at her butt and, you know, looking at the comic book or whatever. And then she's like, Anissa's like, well, I'm not into comic books. And then Grace is like, well, you should be into this one. If you're just reading about genetic mutations just for fun. I lost my place and I can't find it. It's called The One. I don't know what it's called. I thought the name might have been important, but now I can't even find it in my notes. And then she's like, oh, The Outsiders. You should be reading this comic, The Outsiders. And then Grace invites Anissa to a cosplay party, you know, and it happens every Friday. And people dress up like their favorite character or like a character. I went to a cosplay book club once, but I didn't dress up, but some of the other people did. And that was the first time I had heard of it. I was like, what's going on? Why are the grown people in costumes? I had probably heard about it on Facebook or Twitter kind of casually, but that was my first time being around people in real life who were dressed up like superheroes, but they were grown-ups, not children, and it wasn't Halloween. Okay, so then we see Inspector. He's at the school. He's telling Jeff that someone is going to get killed at the march. That's the word on the street. And he, you know, Inspector is like, you better tell the Reverend not to do the march. And Jeff is like, I tried. And he said he was inspired by Black Lightning. And of course, Inspector is like, Black Lightning. Then we see Jeff with Gamby and they're strategizing. They're like looking at the parade route and trying to figure out how best to, you know, protect the people. And they're figuring that they need to change the route to make it less chaotic and easier for Black Lightning. And then Gamby is like, I have a plan for you to reroute the parade. Oh, no, not Gamby. Jefferson is like, I have a plan for you to reroute the parade. Yes, you, Italian man, you, ha ha ha, whatever. Okay, so then we see Jefferson with ex-wifey, Lynn, and she's cooking, and she just got a text from Anissa that she's not coming. This is their family dinner, which is basically mandatory, but Anissa is grown, so I guess she figures she don't have to come if she don't want to. And then Jefferson is like, I'm not surprised. We haven't seen much of her lately. And then Mama is like, well, we raised her to be a strong, independent woman, so family dinner is not her priority right now, but, you know, and next is going to be baby girl off in the world. And Jefferson is like, well, will you still show up for family dinner when it's just us? He's asking his ex-wife. And baby girl comes in. And she's like, my big sister is not here, and this is not here. I need support. And they like, why? And she's like, well, I decided to have sex. And Jefferson is like, you are so young. And baby girl was like, well, how old were you when you had sex? Did you all have sex with each other first? And she asking all these questions, and they're like, you know, trying not to say what the real thing is, because it's just, we're all shocked and we don't know how to handle these newfangled children and these newfangled situations. So she's like, hey, you know, well, Saturday is the day and I'll be home by curfew, which I was kind of like, wow. So she gonna go out to have sex and she gonna be home by curfew. That's like, that's deep. Okay. So we see big sister and little sister chatting, and little sister is like, you know, I wanted you to be here. You know, you've been missing church and family dinner, and suddenly you're ghost. Are you okay? Oh, great. Well, you know, come to this march with me. You don't want to go to a march? Well, what's up? And then this is like, well, I'm tired of walking around with a sign trying to change people's hearts. And then baby sis is like, well, don't think of it as marching. Think of it as being with your sister. And then Anissa is like, okay, I'll go with you. Now let's talk about birth control. Okay, so then we see Jeff. He's at his office, and Mama Wifey Lynn comes in, and she's like, hi, I thought we should discuss our epic fail last night. And Jefferson is like, my mind went blank. Then it went downhill from there. And Mama ex-wifey Lynn is like, I know, but I made an appointment with Dr. So-and-so. It's easier, I think, if one of us follows up, so I'll follow up. I'm cool. And Jefferson is like, are you sure this ain't some white people's mess? The girl told us she's having sex on Saturday. My daddy would say. And Mama Wifey Lynn is like, that's why I'll follow up. We asked her to come to us and she did. Now, don't worry, I got you. And then Jeff is like, well, what's on your mind? And then Lynn is like, well, since you're going back to being a superhero, you know, back to being Black Lightning, everything, I think I should play a bigger role in the girls' lives. And I think that Jen, that's baby girl, little sis, should come live with me. And Jefferson is like, move. And Mama ex-wifey Lynn is like, well, what if you get hurt? What if she sees you? What'll that do to our little girl? I'm her mother and I have a right. And Jefferson is like, no! Like, I don't, he's not in favor of it. And then we see Jefferson. He's waiting for Jennifer's boyfriend in the hallway after school. It's like empty, and he waiting for him after school. Like, he don't do that with his body, but that's what his face looks like. And you know, the little boy, he's like, hey, thanks for the weight routine. You know, my running is better and blah, 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 blah. And Jeff is like, well, you know, my concern for you is more than just as a runner. So, how do you shower, son? And then the little boy is like, I wash, shampoo, rinse, I get out, I step on the towel, and I dry my feet. And the daddy is like, okay, so you step on the towel, you dry your feet, your legs, etc., etc. And the little boy is like, yep. And Jeff is like, so the young man who wants to have sex with my daughter and spends a lot of time in locker rooms dries his fungus-covered feet before he dries his important parts with that fungus-covered towel, and you want to give my daughter athlete's foot in places that athlete's feet should not be? Slow down, son. Okay, so I thought that was a funny scene. I don't know if I like captured the humor of it, but it was funny when it was happening, because I'm like, the little boy didn't even see it coming. That's why he's a little boy. He didn't even see it coming. Okay. And they do need to slow down, because I feel like that's like, you know, hygiene 101. Like, you know, yeah, you ready? You ain't even ready to keep, you know, what you have back. Yeah, we, oh, I can't, the stress, the pressure, we can't take it. Okay, so then we're at the cosplay party, and Anissa and Grace, they're all dressed up, and they're skinning and grinning in each other's faces and grinding on the dance floor. And then in comes Anissa's girlfriend, and she sees them, and she walks right up on them, and she's like, so Miss Black Lives Matter is cheating on me with an Asian? And then Anissa is like, I am not cheating. And then Grace gets between the two of them, and she's like, I think that you should talk about this outside. And then Anissa's girlfriend leaves. And then, you know, Grace is like, are you okay? And Anissa's like, yeah, I need to go handle this. Then we see Gamby on the street. He's in overalls and a hard hat. He looks like a worker, and he's setting up danger, like not cones, but you know, those little sandwich signs that are real short, rerouting traffic for the parade, so that the people for, not parade, they call it a parade, I call it a march, so people for the march go the way they want them to go, so the Black Lightning can try to protect the people. Okay, so then we see Tobias, and he has a gun, and he's talking to a young man. He's like, you know, the serial number has been removed. You know, you toss it at the scene, and do not leave it covered with your fingerprints. And then Tobias is like, is there a problem? You seem reluctant to pick it up. And the little boy is like, I don't have a cloth or whatever. And then Tobias comes up, and he like stabs him in the hand. And he's like, you agreed to do this. You said you wanted to move up in the organization. You said you wanted to take Lala's place. I'm so glad he'd gone with that stupid name. We need you to, I need to send a message. These are my streets, and nobody messes with my streets. Now, stop. He pulled a knife out. He goes, sit down. Stop bleeding on my desk. You're dismissed. I think Tobias might, I don't know why I like the criminals, but I like Tobias and Lady Eve. I like them a lot. Okay, so then we see news on the TV, and it's another murder in Freeland. I mean, Freeland is like the murderingest experience in place out here. And then Anissa's at the bar, and Grace is behind, and Anissa is like, you know, she was right. I should have ended it. You know, it's just been so much change in my life, and I held on to some things not working just because it was like stability, and you know, it felt so good today, and now, you know, I'm back down at reality. And Grace, that's the Asian woman, she's like, we are all just playing at being superheroes. She don't know Anissa is really a superhero. And then Anissa is like, you know, focusing back on the news. She's like, you know, it would be nice to be a superhero and make the world better. I mean, change things, you know, fight bad guys. And Grace is like, yeah, it would be lonely. You'd have to hide it from all of your loved ones. And I don't know if this is like normal in the superhero world, but the fact that Black Lightning's wife, partner, or whatever knows about it, it's like if he was starting over with somebody else, it's like, you know, just like in a real relationship when you start over and you got to get to know the person and they got to get to know you and you got to reveal their secrets and your secrets and hear their secrets and see if y'all can, you know, but it's like she already know his secrets that he's a superhero. That's probably why he can't let her go, because she already know. And she's a doctor. Okay, so are they going to be like a fabulous family, like her, the doctor and Gamby, and then the three heroes? I don't know. And so, you know, Grace is like, yeah, it will be lonely having to hide yourself from your loved ones. And Denise is like, well, I got to go. Speaking of loved ones, I promised my sister I'd go to this march with her. And we see Jefferson with Gambini, and they're strategizing to get to, you know, like, well, this is where the gunman and how we going to get him or her or whatever. This is what we going to look for, blah, 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 blah. And then we're at the march. And these, I've been to a couple of marches, and my experience, they're usually like high energy. Maybe this is some specialized like funeral march, because they're like blah blah, freedom, freedom, you know, the reverend is there, but it's like, you know, you usually be like, you know, freedom, freedom, we marching for, you know, like, so for freedom, and it might have a rhythm to it or a rhyme or like something so that you like, you know, I don't know. I was like, I don't know what kind of march they at. But the Reverend is there, and we see the wife and Mama and Jennifer and Anissa, and Black Lightning is watching from the roof. And then he's like, darn, Lynn and the girls are down there. And Gamby is like, it's nothing that we can do about it now. Stay focused. And then the shooter is peeking around the corner, and then he's moving into the street, and he's spotted by Black Lightning, who jumps in between the shooter and the marchers. And there's like this battle where, you know, Black Lightning uses his electricity to create a shield, and then I couldn't tell, did he kill the shooter? But the shooter is down. The shooter is down. I don't know if he's out, but he's down. And then you know, the day is saved, and the pastor and Black Lightning are staring each other down, and then somebody starts singing Amazing Grace, and then Tobias the albino, he rolls up around the corner, and then he rolls his window down, and he's like, no, he's supposed to be dead. And they write his lines so corny. Are they singing? That's why I hate these church-going Negroes, always singing and praying and singing. All want to go to heaven, but don't none of them want to die. And I knew that he was about to kill somebody. Don't none of them want to die. Bam! He's like, kill that electrified freak. And I thought that he was talking about kill Black Lightning, or the fake, who he thinks is the fake Black Lightning. And we see the white woman, like, she focuses, I thought she was focusing on, you know, Black Lightning, but the Reverend gets shot, and Jennifer's boyfriend gets shot too. Now, I thought she just shot once, but, you know, I'm not highly tuned to hear, so maybe I missed the, you know, I don't know. But Jennifer's boyfriend gets shot too. And then we see the mama wife, Dr. Lynn. She's like, Reverend, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then to Black Lightning, Lynn is like, you need to go. And then we see Jennifer's boyfriend at the hospital, and Jen and Mama Lynn are there, and they're like, you know, riding along with his, you know, he's laid out on the gurney or whatever and riding along. And Anissa's there too, and Jen is crying, and he's going to be all right, right? He's going to be okay, right? And Anissa, like, is holding Jen like, it's okay, baby sis, it's okay. Then we see Lynn with her head on the shoulder of Jefferson, and they're watching the news report, and the people are for Black Lightning, like they're interviewing. They're like, Black Lightning did this. I don't care what nobody said. You can't, I don't care what you say. You can't say nothing about my Black Lightning. That's basically how they are. And then the Inspector Henderson, he's like, he's a vigilante. You know, crime is worse since he came back. You know, he's making things worse for freedom. And then Lynn is like, you know, it was last minute. You know, Jen told me she was meeting Anissa, and, you know, sorry for, you know, for going. And he like, oh, it's okay. You know, she's like, well, I'm sorry for suggesting that Jen live with me. And Jefferson is like, I'm sorry. You know, you three are my priorities no matter what. And Lynn is like, you're a good man, Jefferson. And then we see Gamby on the computer, and he's like, you know, looking, and then he's like, sorry, Jefferson. He's like off in his office, and then he deletes a media file. I guess he's like has some sort of collaboration, or he's working with Tobias, because I guess he deleted the file of Tobias. And then we're back with Lynn and Anissa, and it's like, you know, what's up with you? You know, you're not here. You know, you're skipping family dinners. You know, mothers. You know, her mother is talking to Mama Lynn is talking to Anissa, and she's like, you know, you're not here. I don't know what's going on. You know, you're skipping family dinners. You know, a mother's love is powerful. Remember when you told me you were gay? You know, I sense, you know, a weight on you, and I love you unconditionally, and you know that. And you know, your silence worries me. And then Anissa's like, well, I broke up with my girlfriend. And her mama's like, you like that girl liked you more than you liked her. I don't believe that's the issue, but when you're ready to talk, you know, you tell me about it. I know that ain't what's weighing you down. And then we see Jennifer, and she comes and she's like, the bullet hit his spine. He'll never walk again. That's her boyfriend, and that's the end of the episode. So that's what I got. Thank you for tuning in live or on the playback, liking, commenting, subscribing, being here, being you, being fabulous. Today is the best day ever. So be you, be fabulous you. I really am enjoying this. I got the quad. I don't know if I'm going to get to that. I'm about to do notes on the news feed, hopefully. And hashtag be fabulous you on positivity. So be you. Be fabulous you.